Travis Kelce joining us, two-time Super Bowl champ. Kelce Jam, Travis's first ever music and food fest taking place in Kansas City, draft night. And he's also hooking up with Lowe's to support the NFL draft stage build, introducing Lowe's new MVP's business tools. And you can learn more at Lowe's on TikTok. Travis Kelce joining us on the program. Good to see you again. Take me back to the draft. What were you told leading up to the draft, and where did you think that you were going to end up going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone has the hopes of being, maybe a first round pick. I was dreaming big. Most of the talk was I was going to be somewhere in the late second, mid third round. And I guess there were really two teams that my agent was talking to that had real interest in me. One of them being the Jets. And that's really the only story that I remember hearing from my agent that was like it could be possible. But when they went Geno Smith, it was just kind of like I don't know. It was I just got thrown in the blender, like just getting picked up by hopefully somebody taking a chance on me just because of my athleticism, something like that. But yeah, I ended up going early in the third, and man, I didn't know anything about Kansas City. I remember not knowing a single thing about the Chiefs. Obviously, Tony Gonzalez was a legend of the sport at the time, but it was
now.
just.
Did you know if it was Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas?
See, I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, I thought it was Kansas for sure. I thought Kansas City was 1,000% in Kansas, and I made the huge mistake of that. But it was because I actually got the phone call from a Missouri number, so I thought I was going to St. Louis. So I saw the Missouri number coming in, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is crazy! I'm going to St. Louis. Like, I don't know anything about St. Louis either." And sure enough, it was Andy Reid that called me, so I knew instantly that it was the Chiefs.
But I wonder though if you had gone higher. Like, Brady used it as a chip on his shoulder that he went so late. And Terrell Davis. And, a lot of these guys are like, hey, I'm going after all these guys you took in front of me. If you'd gone in the first round, would you be any different in your career?
I don't even think of it like that anymore. I feel like I think of it more so as the more I was in the building, the more I've been in Kansas City under Coach Reid. I've just been so fortunate that I landed here. I'm just so happy I didn't go earlier on in the draft, and that I was able to just be under a great coach to have this opportunity to keep growing and growing within the position and within the offense and things like that. I didn't even really, I mean, maybe the Eagles. The Eagles were like kind of the only one because my brother was there. They took a tight end a few picks ahead of me. So I thought maybe, I had a little grudge against that because they had opportunity to give me a chance to play with my brother in the NFL. But other than that, man, I was just so fortunate that I was in Kansas City because of the situation we had.
But don't you think your brother would have had some sway with the Eagles? They come to you and say, hey, we're thinking about drafting did they even go to your brother and say, we're thinking about drafting your brother?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge, no. But they got a damn good one in Zach Ertz.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
It worked out for both organizations.
Yeah. Did you know who Mahomes was when they drafted him?
No, I remember watching him at Tech a little bit, seeing the highlights and stuff like that. But I really didn't know much about him other than he was a gunslinger.
Okay, but you had to be then just like us because I watched him, but I had no idea that he was going to be.
It was every day. Every day was just a mind-blowing experience, seeing this guy, just how comfortable he was as a rookie to be able to try these things in practice. Especially under a guy like Coach Andy Reid, who's very discipline oriented. You got to do things the right way. This thing is well mapped out. This offense is well thought out, well mapped out, and for him to play as free as he does in such a strategic offense. Man, it just blew my mind every single day how he was just making plays and creating.
Paulie, would you give me the draft profile
on Travis?
Yeah,
the good or the bad?
Give me the bad, because
who wants to hear the good?
He was a really good athlete, and
Well, according to NFL.com, doesn't have blazing speed, not a tremendously explosive athlete, doesn't come out of his breaks that well, sometimes plays a little recklessly. Those are the negatives.
Ooh. Okay, you want to counter?
Man, I guess it's kind of spot on. All I heard was I didn't have blazing speed. I don't know why that just jumped out at me. It was the first one, I guess. I mean, I've taken a screen 81 to the house. I don't know if that's blazing speed, but that's fast enough if you ask me, Dan.
Okay.
I don't know.
When I watch your games, I'm like, how the bleep is he always open? I know. I mean, explain to me. How are you always open?
There's so many freaking variables. One thing you got to always keep in your hip pocket when you're thinking about that, or in the back of your mind, is I got Coach Andy Reid dialing these things up for me, so he's already putting the defense to a certain challenge. He's presenting a challenge to them that's not easy. You got to know kind of number counts and where guys are at all times and all the possibilities of each route. So it's just almost manipulating everybody and just trying to make everyone feel real confused or just a tad bit late on their reads as a defense. I feel like if I'm always putting the defense in a reactionary position, I got the upper hand.
We're talking to Travis Kelce. If I had you run against Tyreek Hill and you ran 100.
Don't do that to me.
Okay, but how much would he beat you by an 100-yard dash?
Man, I would hope it wouldn't get further than like 20 yards.
Well, he's not going to beat you by 20 yards, is he?
Ooh, man, I've seen that guy take off before, Dan, and I did not think I had any chance of getting closer to him. Like with him with the ball in his hands, for sure. He's a whole different speed with the ball in his hands.
And I tried to get that match with Usain Bolt because I thought, and they both agreed to it, and I thought if you did 60 yards, I really believe Tyreek Hill could get Usain Bolt. It's the next 40 that you're in trouble. What do you think?
No, I'm taking Tyreek, man.
Okay.
In the 60, I'm taking Tyreek. I'm not gonna lie though, Tyreek is one of those guys because he admitted to me when he was with the Chiefs that he's more of a 200-meter guy. Like he thinks that he really just keeps it going as he hits the turn to the straightaway. So I don't know, but he gets shot out of a cannon. Those first 50 and 60 are not slow by any means.
What's the draft party you're hosting?
The Kelce Jam, baby. We're bringing a music and food fest to Kansas City, man. We thought it was the perfect time. After a Super Bowl, I've always wanted to throw a party for Kansas City, man, and just have everybody come out outside of a parade and after a Super Bowl. But I think that it was the draft coming into the city, and it was just an awesome opportunity to kind of bring some people together for a fun opportunity, man.
How long did it take you to sober up after the Super Bowl parade?
Man, I'll tell you what. That's an A shock too, by the way. That's not a beer.
I didn't know what that was.
You thought you said, yeah, I had to clear that up. No, I'm sobered up now. We're getting fired up and ready to go get another one, man. So it was a fun 2 months, but this will be the last hoorah this weekend for me. We got to get back to it.
Did you keep the football from the Super Bowl touchdown?
I do. I have it in my locker. Yep.
Okay. Because I was wondering about that. In the moment, do you even think about that?
No. I remember the first one I ever scored in the Super Bowl was the one my first Super Bowl in Miami against the 49ers. And we were still on the comeback. We were down 10. I think even more than that. We were still on the comeback, and I just threw the ball on the ground. I just ran back to the sideline as fast as possible. And later on, thought I might want to keep that. That could bring back some good memories.
Have you watched the Super Bowl back as a team?
No, not yet. We haven't. I don't even want to say yet. We definitely. I mean, we didn't do the last one or the one before that. I know everyone kind of peeks at it by themselves and talks about certain plays and things like that. But
why not a viewing party and then have another victory parade after the viewing party?
Dan, we might need you. We might need to bring you into this thing. And
that's
a good idea.
I'll be the cruise director. But I think it'd be just another way. Let Kansas City know we're thinking of you. Let's have a viewing party. Get 75, 100,000 of your closest friends. Watch some TV.
We might add this thing to Kelce Jam, baby.
Oh, I like it.
Make it a full experience.
I like that. And then you're working with Lowe's as well, aren't you?
Oh yeah, the Lowe's. I'm working with Lowe's again this year, part of the Lowe's home team, and helping out as Kansas City draft comes there. The draft comes to Kansas City. Lowe's home team and the Lowe's pros that are under Lowe's. They're making the draft stage as memorable as possible for these draftees and everyone involved. And I can't thank them enough for doing this for the city. It's a beautiful experience to even be a part of. The other day, we pulled up on the stage and helped hand out some new tools and some new gear and everything so that these guys could feel comfortable and get the job done in time, man. It's been fun to be a part of Lowe's this year.
And don't rest on your laurels here, okay? I mean, Gronk still is ahead of you a little bit, isn't he?
Oh, 100%. I think.
What do you need to do to surpass Gronk, as in your mind?
Surpass? Oh man, I just want to get as many Super Bowls as he does.
Okay.
If I do that, I've at least in my mind leveled the playing field.
And for somebody who
I think
doesn't
championships mean everything.
Somebody who doesn't have great speed and doesn't come out of his brakes very well.
I'll be working on that this summer.
Okay,
I'll be working on that this summer.
Hey, great to talk to you. Have fun at the draft party, and congrats again.
Always fun, baby. Everybody, we'll see you at Kelce Jam.
Kelce Jam, Travis's first ever music and food fest taking place in Kansas City around the draft.